Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy. If you are new here, thank you so much for coming. And if you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. We really enjoy having you. So today is week 38 for baby number 5. I'm going to update you on his progress. And as per usual, I'm going to update you on how I'm feeling and what's going on. So if you're interested to find out what happens at week 38 with baby number 5, just keep on watching. All right, so it's safe to say 38 weeks and I'm still pregnant. So baby boy has not decided to grace us with his presence, which is okay. It's okay. I'm disappointed, but it's okay. I'm not really disappointed. I mean, I am disappointed because I want to meet him and I want to snuggle him, but I wasn't actually really expecting him to come before 38 weeks. Oh, we're doing focus things. Okay. I wasn't expecting him to come before 38 weeks necessarily, but it would have been nice. I mean, he would have been okay. I would have been okay with it. Now that we're at 38 weeks, I feel like he's really solid to come out. If you have not watched any of my previous pregnancy update videos, yeah, that's what I was going to say the first time anyway. I have 4 other children and they have all been born between the 30 and 39 week mark, except for my second child, my first son. He was a little stubborn. He was evicted on his due date. I've suffered from migraines my entire life, and he just was like, he was the pregnancy where they just weren't good. Like at the end of my pregnancy, I was having a lot of prodromal labor. I wasn't sleeping super well, and I was having migraines all the time, that were making me throw up and not able to sleep. And then it's a vicious cycle, and I was ending up in the ER for fluids and antiemetics and pain medication, like at least once a week, and I figured it was probably better for him out than in at that point. So anyway, he was my one and only augmented labor, I guess. I didn't have any pain meds or anything. They just broke my water, and then he came out. So anyway, so it's not unfeasible to think that maybe this little guy could come out anytime this week, anytime now. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm a little loopy. I have spent the last 48 hours with a real gnarly migraine. It's better today. Getting up and like it didn't hurt so much all night long, and I feel like it's on its way out, and so it's just like I have this tiny little twinge in the back of my head, and more than it hurting, it's just scary because I'm afraid it's gonna start hurting again. So I'm a little loopy. Anyway, so let's talk about this little guy. We've got 14 days left to go. He's the size of a mini watermelon this week. I'm sure he'll feel like a full-size watermelon when he's coming out. But he's a mini watermelon this week, and if you're not into fruit, he is the size of Princess Buttercup's crown on The Princess Bride. Again, subjective. We don't know how big her head was. But he's also the size of a 1980s, 90s little speak and spell toy. You know, that thing that everybody had that we all wanted, couldn't all afford? Yeah. He's the size of a speak and spell. He is 19 to 20 inches long by estimation. I'm guessing closer to 19 because I have short babies, and about 7 pounds, which is probably accurate. Maybe not though. Maybe he's bigger than that. I don't know. He feels bigger than Lily was when I delivered her. She was born at 38 and 5 or 6. I don't actually remember now. Hold on. Like 38 and 6, I think. She was 8 days before her estimated due date, and she was, oh, my biggest baby. She was 9 pounds 3 ounces. He doesn't feel that big. Even if he were to gain a pound in the next week, which is insane, I don't think he feels that big. I think he'll be a bit smaller than Lily was. We'll see. But he's not feeling that big to me. So other than that, he's like all systems go. He's ready to go. He's ready to come out anytime. He's just basically hanging out, refining some functions, gaining fat until he's feeling ready to emerge. For me, I actually felt okay, except that this past week my blood pressure was up. I don't want to say it spiked like it was dangerous, scary or anything, but it was definitely elevated above what was normal. And I think I may have mentioned this in my last video. I started taking a hawthorn linden tincture, kind of as needed. You're supposed to take it like 3 or 4 times a day. I took it for a day or two to kind of help regulate things, and then I haven't been taking it otherwise, but I have increased the protein in my diet significantly. I've been making sure that I'm super hydrated. I have added CalMag to my vitamins. I just was previously just taking magnesium, but I switched it out for a CalMag supplement. And I've been very diligent about taking all of my vitamins, because that's not necessarily my strong suit. But I've been taking them now. So I think all those things have really helped, and my blood pressure has been normal, which is fantastic. Because then I don't feel like crummy and gross. Also, I sleep better. Yesterday my blood pressure was a little squirrely, but my head hurt really bad. So I usually, like, I get migraines, and every once in a while I'll get one of these migraines where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the worst pain of my life, I'm going to die. This was one of those. I woke up yesterday morning at like 5 a.m. and Tim's been working from home, but he had to go into work yesterday because he does computer stuff, and most of it he can do remotely, but sometimes you like have to physically be present. Like, he needed to replace a fan in a laptop or something. So he actually had to go into the office, and I woke him up at 5 o'clock in the morning begging for ice and asking him to take my blood pressure, and I was about to ask him to take me to the hospital because it hurt that bad. We are in the middle of, I mean, our state hasn't issued a shelter-in-place order, but it's like 1 second short of that. And globally people are on lockdown, and I was about to ask him to take me into an emergency room. That's how bad it hurt. I'm not going into a hospital to give birth, but I was ready to go into a hospital to get something for the pain because it hurt that bad. So I'm grateful that it's better now. Other than those things, let's see what has changed. So I have super excitable boobs. They've always done more than their job when it comes to feeding the babies. So for weeks and weeks and weeks now, I have been producing colostrum, which, if you are not familiar with the wide world of nursing, is like pre-milk. It's very high in protein and low in fat in humans, and it helps just kind of, because their digestive systems are still kind of immature and they need to clear out that meconium and the bilirubin. It's super, super dense protein, like nutrition, without a lot of fat, so that it's easy for them to process and have that first bowel movement and get rid of all the stuff that they need to get rid of. So anyway, that's what colostrum is, and I has it. Otherwise, baby has dropped. I will show you this when I show you my belly, but I feel like he's dropped significantly lower than he was previously, which is good. It just means that he's getting closer and closer to being ready to come out. I finally found my cervix. I could not find it previously. I probably could have if I really tried, but I didn't really want to try that hard. So as of like 3 or 4 days ago, I was probably 2 centimeters. I could stretch to 3, but about 2 centimeters dilated. Very short, very soft, so that's all good. Everything's progressing. That's really not a good indicator because, like I said, with Emma, I was at 3 or 4 centimeters for several weeks before going into labor. With Alex, I was actually admitted to the hospital at 5 centimeters and then sent home, and I had him 2 weeks later. So while it's anecdotally fun, I cannot English today. While it's anecdotally fun to know, it's really irrelevant. Anyway, so yeah, we're just on baby watch. I'm really, really hoping he comes soon. I'm really, really hoping that he comes soon. We're very anxious to meet him at this point, past 38 weeks. Like, it really, really could be any day. We have everything set up and ready to go for our birthing area. All we have to do is get the tub out, fill it back up with air, and then fill it with water. I have some projects to keep me busy. Like, I'm gonna clean my makeup brushes. That needs to happen. We're doing family art this weekend. We have some landscaping that needs to be done. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna tell my husband how I want it done, and then I'm gonna watch him do it. But yeah, I mean, just little things to do that don't necessarily have to be done, but to occupy our time. And I'm really hoping that we can enter next week instead of Tim working from home, being on paternity leave. That would be super duper fantastic. Yeah. All that's left is that belly shot. I will show it to you, and then we'll wrap it up. FYI, I'm not going to answer any questions about my belly jiggling, or do I let people touch it, or how it feels. I'm gonna show you a picture of my belly with my shirt on. Because apparently there are people who feel like they need to know this other information. I'm not telling. But here we go. Oh Lord. Hold on, Sybil. Mama's just gonna, I'm just gonna turn this so that I feel like maybe I can just, ooh, does this work? Can I do that? Oh look, that works. So this is where he's at. Like, he's right, like my pubic bone is like right here. He's sitting very low, very much dropped straight out there, ready to go. The cat is clawing the baby bassinet, Dad, which has moved. So yeah, he's just right there, right out in front, Ooh, ready to go. That's where we're at for week 38. Barring anything changing or a baby coming, we will see you back here in 1 week for a 39-week update. I'm not gonna lie, again, really hoping this time that that's not the case. So if you're interested to see how he's doing and how things are progressing, get updates on him after he's born, don't forget to like and subscribe down below so that you can follow along on this journey. Before I go, I made a promise, so I have to get somebody. I'll be right back. This little turkey wanted to come and say hello and goodbye to everybody before we finish out the video. So is there something you want to say? What is it? Are you excited to meet your baby brother?
I'm excited to meet my baby brother. Like and subscribe to our videos too.
Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.